Alright guys, Technical here again today, and we're in a pretty good mood. My exams are over, it's also my birthday, I'm 20 today, so time flies indeed. So yeah, thanks a lot for all the support on the videos. Managed to get videos out even through the exam period. It's all over now, which means I've got more time on my hands. It's a good feeling overall. The exams went pretty well overall, thanks for asking. All that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay breakdowns over the last couple of days. Thought I'd mention here, while I have the opportunity, that of course the last couple of days I was incredibly busy with studying and the like, so I made those videos in advance. Obviously they don't tend to do as well as more news recap kind of videos, but I hope you guys who did watch them enjoyed them anyway. If you haven't seen them, I'll leave them linked down below. I thought I'd mention this while I get the opportunity here, is that Veritasium made a video, you may or may not know this guy, I'll link it down below as well, on why one of his videos went viral. And one of the things that he brought to light, which I wasn't 100% sure was the case, but I definitely heard about, is that when you subscribe to a channel, YouTube doesn't automatically notify you of every single upload. They'll decide, some of them they'll show you, some of them they won't. So maybe some of you guys who are subscribed didn't even see yesterday's video in your sub box, rather than you didn't decide to watch it, because YouTube sometimes won't show you the videos, even if you're subscribed, that aren't necessarily doing so well initially, such as maybe the, I don't know, Q&A or a gameplay breakdown or something like that. If you do want 100% of the time to make sure YouTube shows you the videos, that's what the bell is for. So I don't usually plug it. I always say, like, if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new. But if you do want to make sure that you get notified at least of every single video I upload, then that's what the bell is for. I would highly recommend it. But of course, it's all up to you. So yeah, let's hop right into the video here. I wanted to recap the last couple of days because I haven't got much opportunity. Of course, Gunless, getting benched off this Luminosity roster. I think I want to talk more about that tomorrow. I think I'll make a video like what's next for LG, like what are their steps from here, because of course they can't really make a change till Anaheim. Right now Ricky's in the team. We'll have a look at their game against OpTic Gaming here later on. Firstly, I just wanted to go through the last 3 days of action, rushing through it fairly quickly until yesterday. I really didn't get much chance to watch a lot of these games, so I saw tidbits here and there, so hopefully I can give a little bit of insight. And as always, feel free to comment all your thoughts down in the comment section below. So yeah, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always. Let's hop right into it. So we had Midnight versus Reciprocity. These are Tuesday's games, I believe. Impressive stuff here from Rec. The 6-0 in the search was pretty mind-blowing, and this is crazy, honestly. Reciprocity go 4-0 this week. Dylan was a monster. The entire team played better than when Tommy's in the team. Maybe I can make a separate piece of content on this. I did say last week that I feel like with Denzi in the team, they have a chance to be better, because in the short term, playing a little bit looser can make your team improve, at least in the short term. But Reciprocity didn't lose a hard point this entire week, which definitively shows they are playing better Call of Duty, rather than they're just playing a looser style that's catching teams off guard. To me, it shows they're playing better Call of Duty. All of them are playing better, apart from maybe with the exception of Dylan, who was also going off with Tommy on the team. So it's interesting, of course, Tommy with these mental health issue stuff, like even if he was back in full health, I don't think Reciprocity would bring him back right now, to be honest, because Dens was great this week. The roles seem to work a lot better with Dens being able to use that ICR at times. Shawnee played a lot better this week. Wuskin went off. Dylan kept up his performances. And Zed, of course, here was a fantastic search and destroy and was really influential in a couple of their games. Series 2 of the day was OpTic Evil Geniuses. This was a surprisingly quick 3-0 because EG had looked really good the day before. But yeah, OpTic closed it down. Don't really want to go too much detail in this. Of course, the title of this video is something along the lines of OpTic are #1 seeds at CWL Anaheim, or at least they close out on top. They are. I'll just fast forward here to the standings of Division A after this couple of weeks period. OpTic are on top here at 14-4, taking over that spot from Genji, who really didn't have a good time of things to close out their week here at Division A. So OpTic are going to be top seed from Division A at CWL Anaheim. Reciprocity jump up to 4th, which is impressive. Phaser in 2nd now, Genji are down in 3rd, and Midnight already dropping out of the top 4 despite having that great placing coming in, of course, with their, well, taking over the spot from that old Midnight team. This is Division B starting up next week, and Luminosity, well, they're having a rough time of things. We'll get on to that in a second. The third series of Tuesday was UYU Luminosity. Once again, just absolutely abysmal. John does have a nice map here on Seaside, but they end up losing in pretty classic Seaside fashion. Their control surprisingly good, to be honest, was Luminosity, but I guess Control is just a pure slaying game mode to some degree, so I guess it would make sense that LG would do quite well there, but it's difficult to say. And also, Gunless seems to be an absolute beast in control, and of course they did end up losing him later in the week. We'll have a look at that in just a second here. Genji lose to FaZe. Once again, FaZe's S&D not looking so strong, but all their other game modes just flawless. Like, their respawn right now is impeccable. Map 1 was very close. To end this week was just incredible, really. This series, especially from Zero. Once again, I don't think I mentioned this, but all these scoreboards and like a courtesy of EasyMac. Feel free to check his stuff out. Links down in the description box below. Give him a follow on Twitter, all that good stuff. I said last week that Zero might be up there right now with one of the best ICRs in the game, and a couple of you guys mentioned, probably a bit premature to say that. I think now there's more of a justification. I really felt when I was watching Zero last week, and now seeing the kind of performances he put up this week as well, like, he is really mastering that ICR role and getting a lot more impact than we see from a lot of other players. Of course, a lot of players with the ICR, they put up great figures, but are they dropping huge numbers on the map? Zero right now is like up there with Scraps and Zuma and Celium, and well, Asim also had a great end of this week as well, but Zero is right up there with Scraps and Celium for actual kills in a series, which is incredible really for an ICR player. And in a couple of series he was eclipsing it, hitting like the 85 mark with an ICR throughout a series, which is mind-blowing stuff. So FaZe take it over Genji. Then we move on to the Wednesday games. EG lose to FaZe. This is actually a reverse sweep. Pretty impressive from EG to win the first two maps. Then FaZe bring it back. They actually win a game 5 Search and Destroy. So when the Search and Destroy matters, they pull it out the bag. Jacob had a great map here on map number 2. And EG also looking like a solid team. But FaZe's talent is just absolutely superb. Very impressed with a lot of the players on this team. Zuma has been fantastic. Celium seems to be improving by the day. So FaZe are filthy at the current time. Their match against OpTic, of course, in the first week was pretty close. OpTic ended up closing it out. But we have another game 5 here between UOU and Reciprocity. This was interesting because this game 2 gridlock, it looked like it was going to go in favour of Rec. They were up 2-0, then they lost a round they shouldn't have lost, and then it all kind of spirals out of control. Game 4 was frankly ridiculous. I did get a catch-up out of this. It was pretty much a tie game, then the game crashed, and then they had to restart it. Then it goes all the way down to the wire. Old Reciprocity for sure lose that. But ice in the veins, baby. And they go out 250 to 248. The hill was contested for like 20 seconds. Reciprocity closes it out. Then game 5, they go down 4-0 on Arsenal Search. And I thought, it's probably over here. UIU going to close it out. They're looking like a pretty decent team, even though I have heard some rumours that UIU are considering more changes when they got the opportunity to do so. And yeah, Reciprocity here, 6-4 to close it out, 6 rounds straight. The vibes absolutely flowing. Wuskin with the sniper in hand has been deadly. Dylan is got to be one of the best Sorg players in the game right now. When you watch this guy play, the amount of pressure he puts on the map, the amount of gunfights he wins that he shouldn't be winning, the amount of gunfights he nearly wins that he doesn't even have a chance to win, the kind of recall control he has with his Sorg is just frankly ridiculous. And yeah, Reciprocity looking really, really good. Den's, of course, putting up a great performance here in the control as well, even though they did end up losing that one, but his damage was off the charts. Then, third series of the day, OpTic versus Midnight. Comfortable victory for OpTic as they have been this week. Midnight put up a bit of a fight, but yeah, OpTic been very good overall. Definitely looking like a great team in the league. And then Genji defeats Luminosity Gaming. A little bit close at times. Formal, of course. Great couple of maps here, game 2, game 4, but it wasn't enough. Formal really turning up towards the latter half of the week here that we'll look at in a second. So after that match finished on, well, it would have been Wednesday night, we had this announcement from Luminosity. It's no secret that our Call of Duty team has been struggling. After our tournament win at CWL Fort Worth, the team atmosphere has slowly deteriorated. Despite our attempts to rectify the situation, we've reached a point where a change is necessary. Effective immediately, we've decided to bench Gunless and bring Ricky, the coach, onto the starting roster. Very interesting. Gunless tweets out this. The only thing I'm going to say about the situation is I didn't force myself on the bench, and I respect the organisation's decision on whatever they decide to do, because of course we had an interesting situation. I'll talk about this more in tomorrow's video, most likely we'll discuss. But yeah, Gunless, this previous weekend had been to like an EDC concert or something like that. They didn't even know where he was. They thought Ricky was going to have to play with the team. And typically, this kind of substitution wouldn't be allowed under the rules, but I think MLG and the CWL allowed a special case, just because LG was struggling anyway. So I guess, what's the worst that can happen? At least allowing them to do it, because if you don't allow them to do it, I don't even know what you'd be allowed to do, to be honest. So It seems like Gunless hasn't put himself on the bench as he did previously on the E United team back in Infinite Warfare. Of course, a lot of people saying things about Gunless, bad teammate, etc, etc. Of course, you're welcome to your own opinion on this. I think that there's an element to that in his personality, but I also think there's an element to which he's probably, and from what I've heard, maybe tried to rectify the situation and get them all on the same page. People haven't been practicing as much as he would like them to, and then it gets to a point where he's incredibly frustrated and becomes one of the toxic teammates, I guess, himself. So obviously not a great situation to be in, but the team really wasn't going to win much anyway with him in the squad. And of course, they actually had a pretty damn good performance against OpTic Gaming on the final day. We got to see Formal on the Maddox with Gunless out the team and Ricky using the ICR. And Formal was filthy, man. So exciting stuff, really. If Formal gets this opportunity to use the Maddox, of course, in an ideal world, you could say, we'll just put Classic on the ICR, get Gunless back. Gunless and Formal on the Maddox is filthy, right? But for some reason, LG haven't tried to do this. But as I say, I'll talk about that more tomorrow. It's probably not as simple as a lot of people are suggesting. So, series number 1 of yesterday was FaZe versus Midnight. Once again, they just get mollywopped in the surge. But all the respawns, super comfortable. Celium turning up big time. I think Scraps actually dropped a donut in the surge, which he said was like his first time ever. But honestly, if FaZe can close up their S&D, they're definitely one of the best teams in the game right now and are probably championship contenders come CWL Anaheim. And yeah, if as I say, if they can tighten up their search and destroy, work on that a little bit more, their respawn is absolutely filthy. And Celium is just, this is a perfect opportunity for Celium to really get to grooves, really get to grips, I guess, and get in the groove with this team, having this opportunity in the league, because he has just been steadily improving and he will just take over maps for free and for fun as well. A lot of the time, the respawn's just too good for FaZe. And yeah, these are the final standings of the series here. Midnight obviously not having the best of times, but 0, 1.55 overall. Just ridiculous stuff out of my guy. Celium, Scrap, Zuma. Like, look at these statistics here. And of course, Asim sitting there at a 0.86. He doesn't even have to do anything, man. It would be impossible for him to do incredibly well in addition to all these stats you're seeing out of his team. So yeah, FaZe looking very deadly. We also have Evil Geniuses versus Reciprocity. This is a fun series. Reciprocity took game number 1 confidently, like, Dylan, man, what a guy. And then, game 2, Attach gets MVP here because he clutched up big time in that final round. It was a 1v1. I think they had a 3v5, round 11. And Reciprocity threw it away. It was then a 3v2. JCab, I think it was JCab, did very well to stay alive in the lobby. But whoever it was, Attach jumped up behind them, got it down to a 1v1. It was Attach versus Ed. And if there's anyone in the entire world, apart from maybe someone like Karma or, I don't know, even Adam Killer Sloss, that you want in a 1 versus 1, it's got to be Attach. And he wins it. They win game number 2. Game 3 was comfortable Arsenal control. I fancied EG in a game 5 in this series. Or actually, I fancied them in a game 4 because I thought that they'd win the first search, the control, and then one of the hard points. Or I guess I thought they'd win map 4 if I said they were going to win 3-1, but whatever. I thought that's how it would go. They'd win one of the hard points, then a search and the control, but end up losing both hard points. Reciprocity stay undefeated in the hard points. Shawnee goes absolutely off, 38 in something ridiculous like 16 or something. 7k damage on the map. Phenomenal stuff. And then game 5 closed out by Reciprocity again. So the vibes on this team are super flowing right now. 4-0 on the week, which is very impressive given the circumstances with Tommy taking time out from the game. And yeah, all of them seem to be playing a lot better here. And it's very exciting to see. I don't think there'll be any changes anytime soon to this team coming to CWL Anaheim. They'll have some few weeks to practice. Shane was saying as a coach he was very happy with how it was going. And yeah, these are the final standings here. Shawnee sitting at a 0.8, but you know, Dylan just, okay, I don't know why he's written up here as an ICR exactly, but I guess these are flipped. Maybe Dylan was on top and Dens was here. Not exactly sure which way around this is meant to be, but either way, great performances. Wiskin had a great performance as well. I think that's Wiskin, even though he says he's a main Sork, so not 100% sure. I'm sure that can be corrected or something along the lines in future days, but yeah, Wiskin's been very much impressing me as well. Let's move on to the next series. We had Genji UYU. Once again, Genji get reverse swept. Mind-blowing stuff, really. UYU have been looking decent, there's no denying it this week. Royalty has a fantastic map 5, but it seems like Genji just lose composure because they got up 2-0 here. Game 2 was confident, like, you know, there's no way anyone after game 2, unless you're a massive UYU fan, would have predicted UYU to make the reverse sweep at this point after that game 2. But no, they win control in a 3-2 fashion. UYU have been pretty decent at that historically. They take game 4 in another very close fashion. Royalty has a couple of his very good maps. Royalty's an up and down player, we all know that. But yeah, he really goes off these last couple maps. They close out the series. These are the final standings. They really turn it around. Envoy is a 1.17 with the SMG. But his rest of the team just really don't do that much, and it'll be interesting to see how this Gen G team develops. In current form, I really don't see them winning a championship or anything. Maybe Gunless is someone that could be on their radar. Okay, so Luminosity versus OpTic, the final game of the day. This is where Ricky came in the team. We got to see Formal on the Maddox, and he was absolutely crushing it. Game 2 was pretty fun. OpTic pulled out 4 snipers, I think. Yeah, game 1 was just ridiculous. OpTic went it in a 250 to 248 fashion. Unfortunately, didn't get the time to see this because I was just grinding. My eyes are pretty bloodshot. Didn't get any sleep last night. Had an exam first thing this morning. It's tough, but it's all over now. So yeah, OpTic won game number 1, Formal went off, game 2, Formal went off again, and yeah, so the series was honestly pretty close, given Ricky was on the ICR. Of course, OpTic probably came in thinking, who are these guys, Ricky's now on the team, but the team definitely seemed to make a bit more sense. It's just maybe you can put Ricky on the team, you maybe put Classic on the bench, and then have Gunless come back in. I don't exactly know what you do, because I'm not sure if that's a possible move. Maybe it is, you have a substitute bench so you can flip things out, but I'm not sure that's allowed. I'll go through that tomorrow, but yeah, be interested to hear your thoughts below. So yeah, these are the final scoreboards of the series. Formal has a 1.6 over the series for the 3-0 loss, of course. Ricky doesn't do the best job with the ICR, but what can you expect? Of course, he's barely played Call of Duty forever, didn't expect to be put into this difficult situation, and Classic also not having the best series, but the rest of the guys putting up numbers for the loss. Unfortunate stuff. Okay, well, that's it for today. Luminosity lose to OpTic Gaming. OpTic Gaming top seed for CWL Anaheim out of the Division A. And we'll go through some more stuff tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new as always. These are the standings. And I will see you next time.